People keep asking if I'm back. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. Oh, John Wick, you slay me. Yeah, anyways. Facial hair, it felt good to have for once. I know, it's weird, I'm not a man. Anyways, I want to talk to you guys about the first impressions that I have about Advanced Warfare. I apologize if I'm kind of all over the place today. My ADHD makes it very, very hard to stick to a certain thing. But I'm going to do my best, and I hope you guys respect my opinions and honesty. And a lot of people keep asking me, hey, do you think I should buy this game? Hey, is this game good? Is it different? Is it better? I plan to answer all of those questions in this video right here, but I will be having a full review up in a week, maybe 2 weeks. Kind of giving you guys the full breakdown, what I'd rate this game, you know, full review over campaign and everything like that. From what I hear, the campaign is supposed to be really, really solid. Never played it myself. We got zombies and other things coming on the way, apparently, with DLC in the future. So there's lots of promising things about this game. So I'm going to be focusing on the multiplayer right now. So, how do I feel about the game? Now, honestly, I had mixed feelings at the start. Initially, I started playing, and within the first 10 minutes, I realized you could start dashing all of a sudden. I was like, what? And, you know, it reminded me back of my Unreal Tournament days. I used to play that competitively a long time ago, and that was a PC thing. So a lot of you COD guys were never, ever really able to do that. Actually, I think there were a couple of them that were out on console, but it wasn't really a popular thing for it. But for the most part, a lot of people keep comparing this game to Titanfall, and as much as I'm not like one of those guys that likes to say, oh yeah, this game is just like that, I just don't have anything else to compare it to more directly than the fact that this is Titanfall without the Titans. Is that a bad thing, though? No, I don't think so. I wasn't one of those guys that said Titanfall was a bad game. Yeah, it was a first property. It was one that died quickly because it didn't have the long-term franchise support that, you know, something like Call of Duty or Battlefield does. But I thought the game was solid. I enjoyed playing it more above all. And that's not something I've been able to say about a Call of Duty for a long time, that I've actually enjoyed playing it. I gave Ghosts a good, fair shot. It got more out of me than it deserved. I just felt like the game didn't innovate. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't anything. This game looks great. It performs great. My stepmom once told me, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. But she was a bitch, so fuck her. Here we go. My biggest concern with this game is they're going to have to work on weapon balance a little bit. Seems like the ARs are slightly more favored than, you know, some of the other classes in the mix. The melee, as you guys saw just right there, literally you do nothing but put ghosts in headlocks. You have no range whatsoever. The melee system, for having supposedly an advanced, you know, beatdown thing. I remember what he did to that door in that live action commercial. And I remember what he did with those goats. Why don't I get goats to kiss? So, realistically, I have a few gripes about the game, but for the most part, this game is actually pretty solid. I would recommend somebody to purchase it if you're into games like Titanfall and COD. If you're into tactical shooters, this isn't it. The one real problem I have with this game, and could potentially grow into kind of an actual, bad thing, is the fact that the game is too fast-paced. Now, that's not something I ever expected to say about Call of Duty. Now, because of the dashing system, because of the verticality, because you can jump up and maneuver over maps and you have to go over rooftops, it changes the dynamic of the game for starters. We adjusted from a Call of Duty-based game where there was no vantage points like ridiculously high ones. Now you can go over buildings and jump over things like this. That's kind of outrageous. That's not something you're used to expect. I remember playing Call of Duty where most of the doors in the rooms and everything were inaccessible. You weren't able to go into it. Call of Duty Ghosts was actually the first game that started introducing a little bit of verticality with camping positions, rooftops, you know, stuff like that, high-placed windows with lots of vantage points, and that also encouraged camping, which was not something that a lot of people do. And even more so is, I think, as this game progresses and develops, I expect camping to actually grow in popularity. And the reason for this is just because my experience so far, building streaks is actually quite difficult in this game. And I think I could pretty much strike that up to the fact that this is just such a fast-paced game. The reloads take so much time. I feel like I'm always getting spawned behind instantly or killed on a reload. And it's just because people can navigate the map so much quicker now that it just seems like very, very challenging, because if I'm trying to get on a 10 or 12 or 15 streak or something like that, I feel like something always goes wrong, and it wasn't something that I used to deal with. I feel like pub stomping is kind of a much more difficult chore now, and I feel like they're aiming more towards the competitive scene with these games and these maps and the development than they are so much as the casual player. Now, is that a bad thing? Only if you're trying to do YouTube. If you're only trying to put up impressive scoring gameplays, yeah. Is the gameplay fun when you're just streaming and you're not worrying about it for... Yeah. Why not? I enjoy it. I had a lot of fun doing it. I built up a couple good streaks, but it is far more difficult in this game than I expected. So now that that is over, let's talk about the good things about this game. Like I said, I do recommend people purchasing this if you actually have missed a good Call of Duty game. I think this game's great. Do I think it's as good as BO2? Maybe. Is it better than Goats? What isn't? So, it's a pretty solid title. I'm actually glad I gave it a chance, and I look forward to playing some more of it. Now, what they have going good for them is just the customization and variety. There are so many fucking maps in this game. It's awesome, and the maps are good, too. I like a lot of the maps. And on top of that, the customization is cool. The fact that you can actually get different tier levels. I got an elite helmet last night that I'm wearing right now. It's kind of got that face on it and everything like that, the skull. There's different armor that you can get from supply drops, which are very similar to like battle packs from Battlefield, if you know what those are. But you can get randomized loot and drop like that, which is a cool feature to add to Call of Duty. On top of that, you get to customize your weapon. You can still get camos, the things you can grind out for gold and diamond, and I believe Royal is even the next high grade one. There are lots of things to aim for in this game. The customization and the game types are great. There's a couple new game types added to this that is incredible. I believe War is finally back, but they have a lot of variety. I think there are like 10 or 12 playable game types right now. Then you have the ranked, which is going to have, you know, the different tiers, bronze, silver, so on and so forth. And then you have, you know, classic too, where you can get without all of these crazy things, and you can play classic TDM or domination or something like that. This game did a great job with multiplayer. Again, I'm still kind of about how they're doing this mobility with COD, but it's something that's going to grow on you over time. But I've had a lot of fun playing it. That's my first impression. I've enjoyed the game. Expect a full review coming soon. Thank you guys for your time. I will catch you guys with another video tomorrow. Subscribe if you're new here. And, you know, don't kiss goats, guys. We don't kiss goats.